You tell yourself you're going to watch one video, just one. You open your phone, and somehow, 40 minutes disappear. You weren't planning to waste your time. You weren't even looking for anything. So why can't you stop scrolling? The scary part is, it's not because you're weak. Your brain is being trained to keep going, and the person controlling your thumb might not actually be you. Imagine this. You're lying in bed, your work is waiting, your studies are waiting, your room is a mess. But your thumb moves. Swipe. New video. Swipe. Another one. Swipe. Something funny. Swipe. Something shocking. Swipe. Something completely useless. But you keep watching. Then you suddenly think, okay, last one. And that's where the trap gets interesting. Because your brain doesn't actually want one more video. It wants to know, what comes next? Think about a slot machine. You pull the lever. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. And sometimes, you get something amazing. That uncertainty makes you pull again. Social media uses a surprisingly similar principle. You swipe, and you don't know what you'll get. Maybe it's boring. Maybe it's funny. Maybe it's fascinating. Maybe it's something that gives you a huge emotional reaction. And that uncertainty creates a powerful reason to keep checking. The next swipe might be worth it. So you swipe again. But here's the first twist. If every video were amazing, you would eventually get bored. The brain doesn't become obsessed with certainty. It becomes fascinated by unpredictability. One video gives you nothing. The next makes you laugh. The next teaches you something. The next makes you angry. The next shocks you. And then, your brain starts asking a tiny question. What will the next one be? That's enough. Your thumb moves again. Now something even more important happens. Every time you find something interesting, your brain gets a reward signal associated with that discovery. And you don't need to consciously think about it. You don't say, excellent, I shall now activate my reward system. No, your brain simply learns. Scrolling equals possibility. And possibility is enough to bring you back. That's why you sometimes open an app without even realizing you've opened it. You weren't bored 5 seconds ago. You weren't even thinking about your phone. But suddenly, it's in your hand. And now we reach the part most people completely misunderstand. You think you're scrolling because you're enjoying yourself. But sometimes, you're scrolling because you don't want to feel something else. Boredom, stress, loneliness, anxiety, a difficult assignment, an uncomfortable thought. The phone becomes an escape hatch. You feel uncomfortable, you scroll. You feel bored, you scroll. You don't know what to do, you scroll. And eventually your brain learns a shortcut. Discomfort leads you to your phone, and your phone gives you relief. That's dangerous, because now you're not just consuming content. You're training a habit. And habits don't need permission. Think about the last time you unlocked your phone. Did you have a specific reason? Maybe. But how many times have you unlocked it, looked at the screen, and then thought, why did I even open this? That's the habit operating before conscious thought catches up. The environment gives your brain a cue. Your brain expects a reward. Your hand performs the behavior, and the cycle repeats. Cue, scroll, reward, again, and again, and again. But here's the cruelest part. After scrolling for a long time, you don't necessarily feel better. You might actually feel worse. You look at the clock. 40 minutes gone. Your work is still there. Your body hasn't moved. Your brain feels scattered. And now you feel guilty. So you think, I wasted my time. You feel uncomfortable again. And what does your brain want when it feels uncomfortable? The phone. You just completed the entire loop. The thing you used to escape your discomfort created more discomfort, which made you want to escape again. Now let's make this even worse. Constantly switching between tiny pieces of information trains your attention to expect novelty. New face, new sound, new topic, new joke, new emotion, new video. Then you return to something slow, a textbook, a lecture, a difficult project, a boring task. And suddenly it feels unbearable. Not necessarily because the task became harder, all because your brain has become accustomed to constant stimulation. You're trying to compete with an endless stream of novelty, using a human brain. So what happens? You sit down to study. 2 minutes pass. You reach for your phone. You tell yourself, I'll just check something. And you're back in the loop. This is why simply telling yourself "Maybe need more discipline" often isn't enough. You're trying to fight a system with willpower. And willpower is weakest when you're tired, stressed, bored, or emotionally drained. So what's the solution? Not throwing your phone into a river, not deleting every app, and definitely not promising, I'll never scroll again. Because extreme rules usually collapse. The better strategy is to break the loop. First, remove the trigger. Don't keep your phone directly beside you while working. If your phone is within reach, your brain doesn't have to make a difficult decision. It just grabs it, put it across the room, inside a drawer. Somewhere inconvenient. Make the bad habit require effort. Second, stop rewarding every moment of boredom. This sounds simple. It's powerful. Stand in a line. Don't immediately reach for your phone. Sit on the bus. Look outside. Finish eating. Don't instantly start scrolling. Let your brain experience silence again. Because boredom isn't an emergency, sometimes, boredom is where your attention begins recovering. And finally, change the question. Don't ask, how do I stop scrolling? Ask, what am I trying to escape right now? Are you avoiding work? Are you lonely? Are you overwhelmed? Are you exhausted? Are you simply bored? Because if you only remove the phone, never solve the reason you're reaching for it, your brain will find another escape. So the next time you catch yourself scrolling, pause. Don't immediately swipe. Look at the screen and ask yourself, did I choose to open this? Or, did my habit choose for me? Because that tiny moment is where control comes back. The goal isn't to never use your phone. The goal is to be able to put it down without your brain begging for one more swipe. Because your life isn't being stolen in one giant moment. It's disappearing 5 seconds at a time. If you found this useful, don't just scroll to the next video. Subscribe, and let's build a better mind together, one video at a time.